Welcome to your daily focus, July the 13th, 2021. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly. Thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. I do send it right back to you. You guys rock. Love ya. Absolutely. We have the 13 today. The 13, the unlucky 13, many will say. But 13 actually brings in goodness, abundance, happiness, joy. The 13 usually disrupts our lives enough to bring in true balance in an area of our life. To give us a foundation, to give us a feeling of safety, of security. So a 13 can actually be quite lucky because things come into play that you never would have expected. If we do the numerology of the day, it is a 16, and that's about awakenings. Once again, things are torn down so that we can build anew, stronger, better. We're more determined, we're more motivated. Something happens to rock our world in some way. And we have a lot of positive energy, so I'm hoping it's something positive. 13s and 16s can sometimes bring in just something out of nowhere, seemingly nowhere, that just floors you. You just don't know which way to move or which way is up. And that does happen, so I am sending caution out there that if that happens, know that it is writing you on your path. Knowing that even though you can't see the sun and you're sitting in a cloud of fog, it's okay. Just breathe. Just go with the flow. Take control over what you have true control over. Give the rest up to God, your angels, your spirit guides. Don't worry. They've got your back. 1 plus 6 is a 7. Standing in our truth, absolutely. Relationships would be high on the energy fields. So this could be 13 and 16. It could be love at first sight. It could be something completely out of the blue. Or you have this impulse to jump into doing something or create something. It calls you in some way that it never has before. And you're kind of maybe even taken aback a little bit by your reaction of wanting to do that so much. We have the sun in Cancer. We have the moon. I believe by the time most of us wake up, it'll be in Virgo. So our devoted, analytical, helpful, detail-oriented energy comes in. And the Virgo energy is very good for understanding what belongs, what doesn't belong, what has value, what doesn't have value. So we don't have to sit there and decide on a lot of extras. We know down in the pit of our gut. We know within our intuition, within our hearts, within our minds, what things we need in order to go forward and what things we can let go of. Venus and Mars comes together, I believe, in Leo, and we just had the moon go over both Venus and Mars. So Venus can soften Mars's aggressiveness, absolutely. But Mars can take romantic impulse and take them to be forceful and pressing. It's kind of like we can't catch our breath today when it comes to relationships, when it comes to love, when it comes to emotion. We want to experience. Oh, what's that? Look at this, the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords comes out to say, stand in your truth. Now, we're not standing upon our ego-driven successes and wants and needs. It's an inner truth that we are protecting. And certain people won't jive with your kind of energy, and that's okay. Doesn't make them bad people. But it allows space for the people that do jive with your energy to come on in. So we don't want to stand our ground on some kind of egotistical last stand. We don't want to be in an argument and all of a sudden we're seeing their point, but we can't give in now because we'd look like idiots. So we just keep going with it, and everybody just turns and walks away eventually and leaves us standing there. We don't want to utilize that kind of energy, but it is there. But it does allow us to know our hearts, know our minds, and what we will allow into our life and what we will not allow into our life. And we're willing to stand very strongly for our beliefs, for our truths. Okay, we'll put that back in. See here, I've talked about the planets. We're in new moon energy. So it is about creativity. It is about invention. It is about starting something new. But be careful, because we're going to be a little bit more spontaneous and more rash, a little less inhibited, perhaps. So we have to watch ourselves that we're not spending our money on worthless things or being too spontaneous, too rash, too reckless, especially when it comes with love or money. Be careful of those two things. I think I've been mentioning it over the last several days. Today is no different. Tomorrow will probably be the same as well. We don't want to just say, yeah, what the heck, and not really think of the long term or the consequences. We want to take that step back. We want to use that Virgo energy to make the right decisions, the right choices, what is needed to go forward, what is not needed. Okay, let's cut the cards before we sit here all night. But I still feel like I need to shuffle these. And if you do tarot cards, you know you don't stop shuffling until they say it's okay. Your intuition tells you. Your angel whispers in your ear. Okay, what do we have? The Eight of Pentacles. You know, with all this impulsive, beautiful energy, spontaneous energy that's around, take time to look at yourself. See what a marvel you are today. What you do, what you accomplish, where you go, what people think of you. Take stock of just how great you are. Because you are preparing your mind, your body, your soul for an experience. And you will be in it long term. And you're looking forward to that because it utilizes your gifts and talents in some way. And that could be raising a family, being a best friend, being a good coworker, getting a raise, a promotion, joining a group. It could also be internal. Losing weight to feel better when you look at yourself in the mirror, and what that number is for you is that number. It shouldn't reflect on what everybody else thinks, or anybody else thinks for that matter. You just need to be happy and comfortable with you. And so maybe you're looking at health and well-being. We had that a little bit yesterday under the 6 energy. But this is in order to take your talents and gifts to the next level. It's about stepping on that elevated path. It's about going outside the boundaries and expecting more out of yourself, demanding more out of yourself, challenging yourself, and loving yourself so much, and loving what you can do so much that it all comes together. I mean, that is the way to use Venus and Mars in the sky. To use that aggressiveness, to use that forcefulness, and blend it with harmony and passion and beauty and sensuality and love, and put it all together. And what could you create? What could you do? Where could you go? Who could you become? That's what this card is all about. And you know it's going to be hard work, and you know you're going to meet challenges, and you're ready for them. The moon, it's all about the inner you. It's all about the inner you and understanding what makes you feel that freedom, that liberation. What would it take? What needs to happen? Because that could be your motivator. If I do this short term, it may be a harder road. I may lose sleep. I may not be able to see people I know. I may not be able to spend money on the things I'm accustomed to spending my money on. Whatever it may be. Short term so that you can have the long term. What would it be? It's being honest with yourself. It's not taking everybody else's happily ever after and adopting it for yourself, but truly creating it for yourself. And everybody's recipe for that would be completely different, unique. So it's going within and understanding that the balance starts here and the answers lay within here. Look at that, the moon and then the Fool. And when you look within, there is a new path that opens up for you. You don't even need very much in order to step into this path. It could be a new path of love, well-being, health. It could be going after that promotion you didn't even know about yesterday. Or you see that ad in the paper. You drive by that billboard. You go in and you see the help wanted sign. And you say, you know what? I'd like to do that. I'd like to work in a coffee shop. I'd like to smile and greet people and give them their coffee or their tea or their drinks and tell them to have a nice day. And send them great energy to go out there. And I'd love to just spread energy like that, and I get paid for it. What do you need? You need a resume. But it could be anything. It could be a new best friend comes into your life. With the Fool in the picture here today, and we have that love at first sight kind of energy, passion. Oh, Dylan, what happened? Are you okay, baby? You let out a little yelp. The Fool. Now, we think Fool and we think, we're starting out and we're going to be so naive. And in some ways we are very naive. And we are going to meet all the challenges that the tarot deck shows us. But more importantly, the Fool used to be the court jester. You have to think of what an intelligent person would get a job like that. That jester, that Fool, was the only one that could mock the royalty, that could mock the emperor, that could mock the empress, and everybody would laugh and it would be okay. So how did they move their agendas across? Through their humor, by pointing things out that weren't so funny but everybody would laugh at and get away with it, not get their head chopped off or burnt at the stake. So we have our wits, we have our intuition, we have our sage wisdom. And if we look within with the moon card here, we know how to go forward. And if we took the time to celebrate us today and all that we already do, and then expand it in some way, watch the miracles happen in your life. Watch the happiness and joy come into your life. It's a beautiful day to pick up that kind of energy, but we can't be rash and we can't be spontaneous. Even though that'll be the energy, we have to be very careful with that, especially when it comes to relationship, especially when it comes to your money. Okay, if you have to sign on the dotted line, take a deep breath, read it through. Maybe sign it in 24 hours if that's a possibility, or 48 hours, or maybe next week. Next week would probably be a much better time to sign that. The unicorn. Invite in serendipity. So expect happiness, expect joy around every corner. When you expect it, it doesn't always happen, but most times it does. And look for the little joys. A flower growing out of a crack in a sidewalk. Smile. A butterfly flying over your head. Smile. Think of something that brings you joy. Look for the beauty and the laughter in life. When you raise your energy like that, and then you go and you celebrate yourself, and you go within, you start asking yourself some deep questions like, how will I feel the freedom? And then sit and listen for the answers. Have a discussion seemingly with yourself. The path opens up for you. So allowing the joy, allowing the happiness to come into your life is paramount today. Well, let's go to the unicorn. Oh, it's already open to the unicorn. That happens more often than not with this deck for some reason. So, mysterious, playful, pure. The unicorn is universally beautiful, mysterious, and difficult to capture or tame. It's fierce and protective. It's admirable. It's the symbol of serendipity, the occurrence of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. This card represents good luck in making unexpected and favorable discoveries. Expect magic to happen. Expect it. Luck is on your side. And I think I was mentioning that this could be a lucky day for people. The 13 energy is upon us. Oh, what was the mantra? Did I read it out? I don't think I did. And now it doesn't open to unicorn. The nerve of this book. There it is. I guess I should have done my job the first time around. I accept and invite serendipity into my life. Absolutely. Bring it on. Okay. We'll get an animal. So we do have beautiful energy. But we must use it correctly in order to benefit. We don't want to be rash. We don't want to be too spontaneous. But we may be a little less inhibited, and we may try things that we never tried before. Or at least have the thought. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. We didn't pick a card yet, so we will pick a card. Make sure everything is running. It can't do that. It can't do that. The screen, I have the camera on over here. That's where I click it, but I've got to use a mouse, and it's not a touch screen, so, and the mouse is off the button when I'm recording, so I don't know how that happens. Look at this. The lion comes out and says, be strong. Know your power. And if you don't feel it, then fake it till you make it. Let's get the lion out here. Strength, pride, moving on. Promise me you'll always remember you're braver than you believe, you're stronger than you seem, and you're smarter than you think. So once again, take stock of who you are. You may amaze yourself. You may understand how you can make that dream, that potential thought, a reality. The lion's presence itself can draw fear among his peers. Even when he doesn't feel strong, he's perceived as such. And he reminds you that you are just as strong. With all that you are experiencing in your life, it's time to embrace your own strength. Always, now, and forever. It's time for you to let go of the things that no longer can be fixed. Trash is trash. Only keep around that which is worth collecting. And so we have the Virgo moon helping us out with that energy. If you have to force a situation into the way that you want, you'll only make it worse. And the knowledge that it isn't yours needs to be seen. And that was the card that jumped out, right? The Five of Swords. Holding on can make you brave, but moving on makes you strong. Lion may be telling you it's time for you to see a physician and then begin an exercise program to help build your body strength. So it could be physical strength, it could be mental strength. Could be perseverance, it could be discipline. What does strength mean to you? How are you going to bring that out in your world so that your path is richer and brighter and more beautiful going forward? Until we meet again, remember, I do love you. Oh, where is it now? It's gone. Ciao.